videos on sequences and series for grade 11U math. To follow along with these videos, you're going to need your course pack. So if you like, please pause the video, go get your course pack, and come back. Okay, the first lesson is called Arithmetic Sequences, not arithmetic, but arithmetic. Arithmetic is actually an adjective describing a sequence, and arithmetic is just a noun, which is the basic math, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, that kind of stuff. So today we're going to talk about arithmetic sequences. So you're going to need the page in the course pack that has on the top sequences and arithmetic sequences. So find your page, you can pause and come back to it, and then we'll get started. Okay, up at the top of the page is a little review about what a sequence is that we discussed in class. A sequence is a bunch of terms listed in order, T1, T2, T3, and so on. Tn is called the general term. It's any term in the sequence. And we can call sequences with T's, or we can use function notation. So here's an example where there's a Tn, the nth term, is given by 3n minus 2. So if you wanted to find any term here, you could sub in a value for n and get that term. Same thing with this one over here. Find the 7th term, you can substitute 7 for n and get it. You can also use function notation for sequences. You just again sub in the term number and you'll get the term. Okay. We're going to skip ahead to this box here where it says arithmetic sequences. So what an arithmetic sequence is a sequence where there is a jump from one term to the next with adding. So if you look at this sequence over here, you can see that we're starting at the number 2, and to get from any term to the next one, we're going to add 3. And the fact that to get from any term to the next one, we're always adding the same number, that's what makes the sequence arithmetic, that this number that we're adding is always the same. So a little bit of terminology. The first term over here, this T1, is called A. Call it little a. And the difference between the terms is called D. So D is called the common difference. I'm writing it here even though it's in the box, but if you want, you can make notes for yourself. The common difference, we call it D, and it's common because if you take the difference of any two terms, you're always going to get 3. What it says here in the box is that we can list the sequence like this. The first term is A, the second term is A plus the common difference, the third term is A plus the common difference plus the common difference, which is A plus 2D. The next term would be A plus 3D, and so on. Okay, so example 4 says, given the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic sequence, this is the formula, write the first 6 terms. I think you can do that, so pause your video for a second and do that and check with me. Okay, so hopefully you got something like this. You just sub in n values, and they said the first 6 terms, so I did it for n equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you get this sequence over here. Okay. Next one, they said given the formula for the nth term, find T10. So same thing, they want you to find the 10th term, so we're going to sub in 10 for here, so T10 is equal to 7 plus 4 times 10, which is 47. Okay, and then you function notation, same thing, it would be f of 10 is 5 times 10 minus 8, which is 42. Okay, example 6 is where it gets now, you need to understand about arithmetic sequences. So example 6, find the formula for the nth term, Tn, and find T19 for the following arithmetic sequence. So wouldn't it be nice if we had more space? But we don't, so we're going to have to write small. If you like to write big, please do this on another sheet of paper, and just write the page number, and that would be good. Okay, so first thing we have to do, we look at this sequence. Here in the box, it gives us a general formula for the general term of a arithmetic sequence. So right here in the box, you can put another little box around that. That is your general term. And how you get it is you start with your first one and then add the common difference. How many times? Well, for n terms, you're going to have the first one and then add the common difference n minus 1 times. Okay, so let's use this formula for over here. So in this sequence, you have a is equal to 8, and the d is what you get when you subtract 12 minus 8, and you get 4. So the Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1d, which is 8 plus n minus 1 times 4. And then we just simplify that. That would be 8 plus 4n minus 4, or in other words, Tn is equal to 4n plus 4. So this means that for any number in the sequence, so let's say you want the term 1000, you could figure out term 1000 without listing all of the numbers by just subbing in 1000 in for n. Okay, and then they wanted T19, so we can do that. T19 is equal to 4 times 19 plus 4, which is 70. So using the formula, we can find anything. We can find any term in the sequence. Okay, example 7, it says find the number of terms. How many terms are there in the following sequence? So here's an example where they list you the sequence. We can still get the A and the D, but they're telling us how many there are. So instead of telling us what the n is that they want, like here they wanted 19, they're asking us how many are there. So they're asking us to solve for the n. So what we do is we're still going to write out the a is equal to -3, the d is equal to 5, okay, and we're still going to write the formula Tn equals a plus n minus 1d, only now it's the n that we don't know, and it's the Tn that we do know. So 152 equals -3 plus n minus 1 times 5. And now we solve this equation for n. So please pause the video while you go ahead and solve this equation for n. Okay, so hopefully you can check your answer and it looks something like this. If you solve the equation, you get n is 32, which means that there are 32 terms in this sequence that has the ending. Please understand that sequences will go on forever unless we're told to stop. So if we're going to stop at 152, that means there are 32 terms. Okay, example 8. In an arithmetic sequence, you're given 2 terms. You're given T7 and you're given T15 and nothing else. And it's asking you to find the first 3 terms and Tn, which is the general formula. Should be written like this. T with a subscript n. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write out what we know. We know that T7 is 121, but T7, so let me write the general formula. Tn equals a plus n minus 1d. So T7 is going to equal to a plus 6d, right? Because n is 7. But we know T7, it's 121. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase this. And instead of T7, I'm going to write 121. So that now represents our 7th term. And I can do the same thing for the 15th term, because T15 is a plus 14d. And T15, they gave us as 193. Well, what do we have here? We have 2 equations with 2 unknowns, right? And we can solve this for a and d. So again, I'm going to pause the video. You go ahead and solve this. You can use substitution or elimination. Solve it and figure out a and d. Okay, so I did elimination and I got that d is equal to 9 and a is equal to 67. So that means that if I'm going to figure out my terms, the first one is going to be 67. It says to write the first 3 terms, so let's do that. The first one's 67. To get to the next one, it's going to be 67, and we're adding the common difference, so we're adding 9. So the next one's going to be 76, and the next one after that, 85. Okay, and then it says to find Tn. Well, Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d, but a is 67, and n minus 1 we don't know, and d is 9. So all we have to do here is expand this. You get 67 plus 9n minus 9. So therefore, formula for Tn is 58 minus 9 plus 9n, or 9n plus 58. Okay, and that's going to be your formula. So that means if we wanted to find term 1000, we just sub in 1000 into here and 1000 into here, and you can figure out the term. Okay, so those are the questions that you might see with arithmetic sequences. And when you come to class, you're going to need to have this course pack page filled in, and you'll be able to spend the period on harder problems. Okay, so thank you for watching, and hope you enjoy the flipped classroom experience. Make sure if you have any questions to ask them in class, and that concludes your homework for tonight. So you don't have to do the homework yet. Okay, if you want to start, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, see you in class.